In a moment that seemed peaceful on the Caribbean Sea, two strange bright spots suddenly tore through the radar screen of the USS Jason Dunham, turning a routine patrol mission into a deadly game. Two Venezuelan F-16s ignored all warnings, charging straight toward the American ship like threatening specters. Was this an accidental provocation, or a move to ignite an inevitable armed confrontation between two nations at the height of tension? And what actions would the Pentagon take in response to Venezuela's defiance? The Caribbean Sea is a geopolitical hotspot, a vital artery for global trade, and an area where the U.S. Navy frequently conducts anti-drug and counter-terrorism operations. The strong presence of warships such as the USS Jason Dunham and Arleigh Burke-class destroyer is a key factor in protecting regional interests and security. The phalanx CIWS system was activated, the 20mm Gatling guns rotating, scanning the horizon to identify targets. Weapons weapons officers monitoring the screens ready to fire. The failing CIWS system locked onto the two F-16s at a range of 2.5 nautical miles, with the gun barrels rotating precisely to the aircraft's trajectory. The ready-to-fire indicator lit up on the control panel. Captain Evans ordered a warning volley from the CIWS. The Gatling guns fired dozens of armor-piercing rounds, creating brilliant streaks of light flying 5 meters off the lead F-16's trajectory. The second volley targeted the second F-16, with the rounds skimming past the aircraft 4 meters away. The weapons officers adjusted the firing angle, ensuring the rounds missed the target but were close enough to exert pressure. The AN/SPG-62 radar system continued to lock onto the target, providing data to the SM-2 missiles, with officers ready to switch to attack mode if the F-16s continued their provocation. In the cockpit of the lead F-16, the Venezuelan pilot saw the flashes from the CIWS rounds. The RWR system sounded its frantic alarm, signaling the threat of attack. He immediately pulled back on the stick, banked right 70 degrees, and put the aircraft into a steep turn, climbing to 7,000 feet. The jet engines pushed hard as he checked the defense systems, activated the heat decoy, and fired 2 flare bombs to deceive the simulated missile system. He checked the RWR screen, noticed the interference signal from the ship, and adjusted the trajectory to avoid the danger zone. The second pilot, receiving signals from his teammate, banked left 65 degrees, performed a dodge maneuver, and increased altitude to 6,500 feet. He checked the weapons system, ensuring the AM-9 missiles were in standby mode but not activated. He reduced speed to 200 km/h, maintained a distance of 500 meters from his teammate, and monitored the ship's radar signal via the RWR screen. Both pilots communicated via the communication channel, agreeing to circle at a distance of 10 nautical miles to assess the ship's response while maintaining a tight formation. The lead pilot rechecked the radar system, but interference from the AN/SLQ-32 disrupted the data, forcing him to rely on visual observation and signals from his wingman. He adjusted the control stick, executed a wide turn to maintain a safe distance, and ordered his wingman to check the defense system. The second pilot activated an additional heat decoy, fired flares as a precaution, and adjusted the flight angle to maintain a stable formation. Captain Evans, recognizing the pilot's stubbornness, ordered the final deterrent measure. The AN/SLQ-32 system amplified the jamming signal, simulating the target lock signal of a heat-seeking anti-aircraft missile similar to the SM-2. The jamming officers adjusted the frequency, focusing on the F-16's guidance radar, causing the aircraft's RWR system to emit an emergency alarm sound with warning lights flashing continuously. The radar officers in the CIC checked the data, ensuring the jamming signal was maximally effective. On the F-16, the lead pilot sensed imminent danger. He activated 3 additional heat-seeking decoys and fired flares continuously to deceive the simulated missile system. He pushed the control stick, putting the aircraft into a wide turn, accelerating to Mach 1.2 and climbing to 12,000 feet. He checks the RWR screen, sees the target lock signal is still strong, and orders his team to prepare to retreat. The second pilot banks right, performs a similar maneuver, climbs to 11,500 feet, maintains a distance of 600 meters, and fires 2 heat-seeking decoys to increase defense capabilities. Captain Evans repeated the warning signal, "Leave the area immediately or face the consequences." The AN/SPG-62 radar system continued to lock onto the target, providing data to the SM-2 missile. Weapons officers checked the launch system, ensuring the missile was ready to fire within seconds. The failing CIWS system maintained target lock, with the cannons ready to fire another warning salvo if the F-16 returned. As the two F-16s circled back at a distance of 8 nautical miles, the radar aboard USS Jason Dunham registered a sudden change. One aircraft had locked its fire control radar on the destroyer. The AN/SPG-62 instantly detected the spike, triggering a high-priority threat alert inside the Combat Information Center. Target lock confirmed. Venezuelan F-16 Alpha fire control radar active. Captain Evans ordered immediate countermeasures. The AN/SLQ-32 launched concentrated electronic jamming, flooding the F-16's radar with false reflections. At the same time, the forward phalanx CIWS rotated toward the bearing, its tracking sensors locking on automatically. On board the lead F-16, the pilot's radar scope flickered, jamming overwhelmed his targeting display. Frustrated, he decided to press the provocation further. He toggled the master arm switch to armed and briefly activated his M61 Vulcan cannon's targeting reticle, sending a radar pulse that was instantly detected by the U.S. ship as a potential hostile act. Evans didn't wait.
Fire one warning missile.
The order echoed. A single SM-2 erupted from the Mk-41 VLS, streaking upward in a roar of fire and vapor. The missile arced high, programmed to detonate 300 meters short of the F-16's altitude. A blinding flash tore across the sky, the shockwave rattling both aircraft and forcing the pilots to break formation. The Venezuelan lead pilot jerked the stick left, pulling a 6G evasive turn while the second pilot fired flares in panic. Their RWR screens screamed continuous lock warnings as the SM-2's seeker head passed close before self-destructing. In response, the lead F-16 made a high-speed dive toward 5,000 feet, lining up a simulated attack vector, and squeezed off a 2-second burst from the M61 Vulcan tracer round splashed into the sea a few hundred meters off the destroyer's bow. The CIWS instantly switched from warning mode to active defense, unleashing a stream of 20mm shells that slashed across the air, forming a lethal curtain between the ship and the aircraft. The roar of the Gatling guns drowned every other sound. Hundreds of rounds streaked skyward, cutting through the humid air and forcing the F-16 to pull sharply up, narrowly escaping the engagement envelope. The second F-16 disengaged completely, climbing steeply to 12,000 feet, with its afterburners ignited in a long trail of orange light. The exchange lasted less than 40 seconds, but in those seconds, the Caribbean sky had turned into a blistering display of deterrence and control. No missile struck, no aircraft fell, yet every move carried the weight of potential war. Both sides knew one more second of hesitation, one misread radar signal, and the calm sea below would have erupted into flame. On the USS Jason Dunham, Captain Evans ordered continued monitoring to ensure no targets returned. Radar officers checked data from the ANSPI-1D, confirming the two F-16s had left the 50-mile range. The phalanx CIWS system returned to standby mode with the gun barrels stopped rotating. The SM-2 missiles remained on standby for an additional 10 minutes, with weapons officers checking data to ensure there were no new threats. Officers in the CIC recorded details of the F-16's actions and the ship's response, preparing a report for Naval Command. The confrontation ended without casualties or escalation into full-scale conflict. The USS Jason Dunham demonstrated effective deterrence capabilities, combining electronic signals, controlled warning fire, and robust electronic warfare. The Venezuelan pilots, despite their initial provocative actions, received a clear message. The USS Jason Dunham was not an easy target, and aggressive behavior would be met with a professional and decisive response. This incident reaffirmed the U.S. Navy's crucial role in protecting strategic trade routes in the Caribbean Sea and maintaining stability in the region.